But there's a development in Parliament, and we need to go over there to Parliament. Now, Professor Michael Quay, Speaker Professor Michael Quay, has been putting in some warning. He's threatening sanctions against members of Parliament and staff who refuse to take COVID-19 test ongoing in the House. About 690 MPs and staff were tested last week, as you know, with hundreds more yet to take that test. Well, Joseph Opoku Gakpo will join us with more of that. But let's go right now to Parliament, where the Majority Leader is responding to some concerns or reports coming out that some members of Parliament and staff at the Parliament House have tested positive to COVID-19.
Okay, then they could do that. Or if there is a need to contact Parliament, maybe because they have opportunistic diseases, then that might happen. But that's really speculation. But the results are not going to come to us. The results will go to the individuals. You see? So on that note, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. And our offices are open. Please, if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, all of you know our personal numbers, our social media handles, our internet facility, places that you can find us. Please find us and let's help you to clarify the issues. Thank you very much for coming.
Those are live visuals coming to you from Parliament. That's a press conference that was held a while ago about responding to some concerns that are coming up that some members of Parliament, 2 members of Parliament and 13 members of staff of Parliament have tested positive to COVID-19. We missed that briefly, but Joseph Opoku Gakpo will be joining us live from Parliament. Before that, I told you that the Speaker of Parliament is threatening sanctions against Parliament and staff who refuse to take the COVID-19 test that's ongoing. And last week, that testing process started in Parliament, and it's amazing why some have not taken that. Joseph will tell us. Professor Michael Quay is also saying that that test is mandatory and everyone in the House is expected to comply with it. Let's see if we have Parliamentary Affairs correspondent in our view at this point to give us more. Parliament, Joseph Opoku Gakpo is joining us live from there. 3 key things that are happening there. We've had the Speaker of Parliament, you know, with the threats to sanction people who do not want to take the COVID test. We've also heard from Shelley Ayeko-Botchwey, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and we also know that the Majority Leader organized a press conference right now. Joseph, bring us up to speed. Let's start with the Majority Leader's press conference, which just ended a while ago. What did they say?
Mr. Oseichi Mensah Bonsu and the Director of Public Affairs here in Parliament, Gitaru, as well as the Director of Medical Services, Dr. Prince Pambo, have been responding to media reports earlier today that 2 members of Parliament and 13 members of staff have actually tested positive for COVID-19. You recall that Parliament has been doing testing for staff and also members of Parliament the whole of last week, right through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. From the indication we get, up to 690 plus members of Parliament and staff have actually undergone that particular test, and the results, half of it are in, half are still outstanding, and that testing is expected to continue this particular Thursday and Friday. According to the media reports earlier in the day, 2 MPs and 13 staff had actually tested positive, and the Majority Leader's press conference was just to respond to that, and he's been explaining that Parliament will not know when there is a situation of a positive test when it comes to COVID-19, because the samples are taken, and when a case is determined, the officials who took the samples and the National COVID-19 Management Team liaise directly with the individuals, and so Parliament has no available statistics and data on those who are testing positive or otherwise, and so he's been denying the reports that have emerged that there's been some case of positive test. And in fact, the Director of Public Affairs said that the reports have actually sent panic among members of staff here in Parliament, and so they would want to set the record straight that no such cases have actually come up, but that Parliament as an institution is taking the necessary precautions and ensuring the necessary steps to protect all of those who are here. The interesting bit is that it was very much looking like a hurriedly arranged media briefing. No opportunity was given for questioning from the press, and once they rounded up, the leaders exited, and so that media briefing is done.
We did see the leaders exiting, Joseph, but on the back of that, the Speaker of Parliament is threatening to sanction people who fail to take the test. Does it mean that some members of Parliament and some staff indeed are resisting to have their samples taken?
So that's accurate. I'm not exactly clear on the specific figures, but the indication I get is that majority of those who've actually done the test are members of staff. A lot of MPs have not actually undertaken the test. In fact, in my interactions earlier in the day, I interacted with a member of parliament, for example, who admitted openly that he hasn't taken the test because he'd been busy in the course of last week. But Professor Michael Quay indicated at the sitting earlier today that the COVID-19 tests are mandatory, and that if an MP or staff refuses to take the test, sanctions will apply. He didn't give the specific details on that, but he went on to make the point that it's an effort to protect all MPs and staff here, and so the necessary efforts should be made for those who want to participate to participate. He's been challenged by some MPs who think that he wouldn't be able to sanction anyone who refuses to take the test. The MP for Swajaman, Thomas Ampimdako, for example, says all that Parliament can do is to persuade MPs to undertake the test, and that no sanctions can possibly apply because the standing orders don't make any such provisions. But he's gotten responses to that from MPs like the Kumungu MP, Ras Mubarak, who think that a Speaker's directive cannot be disobeyed, and that sanctions, including moving where you sit from a front bench to a back bench or possibly preventing you from the premises, are some of the sanctions that could apply. So that debate has been ongoing here in Parliament all afternoon as well.
Joseph, just this weekend, we received some Ghanaians who were living in Kuwait. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Shele Kobocho, was in Parliament today. Tell us, what did she say?
Mainly her statement had to do with the African Union Day celebration, which fell yesterday, the 25th of May, and she's been updating MPs on what they think are some of the challenges with continental unity and bringing peace to the continent and ensuring economic integration, and how some of these processes are being impacted by COVID-19. She went on to say that, you recall, the African free trade continental area is expected that it would come into force from the 1st of July, so that then intra-trading within Africa would go on very smoothly. She indicates that the necessary steps are being taken to ensure that despite the COVID-19 situation, those processes will not be affected, and that from the 1st of July, that particular agreement will come into force. She also indicated that the efforts in order to ensure that Africa boosts its science and technology research and health infrastructure are ongoing, so that then in future, when there are pandemics like COVID-19, as much as possible, Africans will be protected, and that Africans are taking their destinies into their own hands, and that all processes at the level of African unity are ongoing despite the challenges that COVID-19 is posing to some of those efforts.
Joseph, thank you for that detailed report. Joseph Opoku Gakpo is our parliamentary affairs correspondent who joined us live from Parliament.